So, ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, we are going to find out if this Jazzinc 2022... Let's find out if that was worth $1,500. Let's get into it. Now let's not waste any time and get into this really clean box art from this vehicle, and I really do like the black and red tones. It obviously gives that dark tone that was in the film. And remember, this really isn't a review per se, it's kind of my overall experience with Jazzinc, given this is my first vehicle from them. And I know a lot of people have questions on the company if it is worth that high price. And I'm going to give you my totally unbiased thoughts, or try to, because I obviously love this film. But yeah, this was how it was packed, had no issues when I unboxed it, thankfully. And right here, we have the vehicle lit up in its glory. And if you do enjoy the video, make sure to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and bang that bell notification so you don't miss any future videos. We are just about 700 subscribers away from the big 4,000. So if you're a big Batman fan like myself, stay tuned to the channel because there are some fun things coming. Having said that, this is definitely one of them. This piece is absolutely impressive. When I first got this in hand, I was a little worried. Obviously, given this high price tag, I was like, will this actually be worth it in the collection? And I will definitely be giving that answer later in the video. But as you can see, I'm kind of panning over, showing some specific light ups and just the paintwork on this. That's one thing that I think is super controversial with Jazzinc Dioramas, is their paintwork. I know if people have had issues in the past, but for me, thankfully, I had no real problems, or I didn't notice anything that looked cheap or bad paint wise. But I know people have had those issues. Specifically with this car, I think there was about 2 to 3 cases of people having fingerprint marks on the top of the roof. Luckily for me, I didn't see any of those, so I'm thankful for that. But I've heard Joost has reached out to those people and have helped them out and solved that problem, so that's very great. But one thing I do notice, however, is that this car is kind of like a smudge magnet. I feel like when you touch this with your fingertips, I would highly recommend using gloves or finger gloves, because I feel like whenever I was touching this thing, it was leaving marks. And I heard that Joost said that you can use like microfiber to clean that off. Definitely gonna have to do that after this, I'm done editing this video. But that's one thing I definitely wanted to mention. Like I said, guys, I'm not gonna be biased here. I'm gonna be completely honest. Although that may have just been an issue, just how the vehicle was created, the paintwork that was on it. It's just a black vehicle, so it's clearly gonna be more like prone to having smudges because it's a very contrasting color. So I'm not really gonna blame them for that. But right here you can even see like the mark on the middle of the door. That's just something that I guess you just have to deal with. But right here you can actually open the door, which is really awesome. But yeah, you could see that kind of has like that little like fingerprint mark that when I opened it when I first got it. But inside, I really do love this detail. You can see here that Pattinson did not want to have a buddy in his car. He was soloing it with his little propane tanks there, which is really badass. And you can see the light ups here with the stickers that they applied. It's really cool. It's really nice and just screams from the accuracy of the film, which is something Jazzinc completely strives for. That is yet another pro you can add to the list. Jazzinc, when it comes to accuracy, they listen to the community. They actually talk to Warner Brothers, the people who created this car, because this was made when the movie came out. This isn't like a Hot Toys where you have to wait a year to 2 years for a pre-order. This came out, I think, right before the film came out or when the film dropped, which I absolutely loved because I was able to have this finally now rather than having to wait so much longer. So I am so thankful they were able to do that and just provide this accuracy. That's the reason, another very big reason why people are buying into Jazzinc, because accuracy is such a big and critical detail for them, which I love. But there's also obviously conflicting opinions because you are paying that extra price hike with this differing company in comparison to Hot Toys. Obviously, if they did do a vehicle of this mass, it would probably be like $800 to $900, which is obviously super competitive in comparison to Jazzinc. And right here, I have the plaque, which is number 387, which is pretty cool. I'm also really starting to dig the open door look. Like, I just cannot wait to get a Batman figure because it's honestly really annoying having this vehicle with no Batman to pair it with. But regardless, it's really nice. It flushes back in really nice and securely, and yeah, man, the detail on this is really nice. I think the paintwork was great. One thing they did mention with the clean version, which they updated, was that they added little touches of weathering and kind of scuffs around the car, which I actually like even better. I feel like mine doesn't have as much scuffing. Obviously, every car is going to be different, but damn, man, every time I look at this thing, it just screams presence. I love it. And can we talk about how beautiful these light up features are? Jazzinc, pat yourselves on the back because it is absolutely impressive, and I'm going to showcase it right here on the front. Look at these light ups. I really do love it. I think it pops really well. More on that in just a minute, but I wanted to showcase you guys what you can also do, which is moving the wheels, which is really nice touch. I know people said we needed to have this RC built, like being able to actually drive this thing would be sick, but being able to move the wheels is also a nice touch. You can kind of showcase, like, do some cool poses of Batman looking to the left while he's drifting to the left, drifting to the right, because obviously in the scene he went ape shit on that freeway, and I think this is just really necessary feature, and I'm really happy they did that. Now that we got through the front and kind of side of the car, let's go to probably the most important and fascinating things about this vehicle, the engine. It was super important for Matt Reeves to include this because I think this is what makes the Batmobile. If without this, it's just a car, but the fact that he has this jet engine that is so empowering and so menacing, it just adds that fear factor that was throughout the entire film of what the Batman was all about, which I was just so happy with. And this is absolutely impressive. You can see kind of like the detail of the scuffs and weathering around the engine. Not too much. It looks more clean, obviously, because I did get the clean version, but damn, man, they absolutely killed the detail on the back of this. I love it. Joost also mentioned that this back engine was super intricate to make. They had to use hundreds of parts meshed together, and I couldn't even imagine having to make 1,000 of these vehicles. That must have been super time consuming. So shout out to the Jazzinc team because it was worth it. It clearly was. Look at all these pieces that you could see being together. This definitely helps you justify that high price hike because it shows that they're putting that amount of detail and care into this product. They're not going to be lazy. They're not going to go into the inside and maybe miss a part here and there. This is accurate to the movie blueprints, which I just absolutely love. And don't you worry, I know y'all are sitting back there waiting for that smoke effect with the sound feature. It is coming. And again, the light up features are really impressive as well. I love how it's all just wired by one USB port. That makes it so much simpler. And the fact that you have a remote as well that you can press buttons to click over. I'm going to go over that later, but right here, we're just kind of showing the engine and the detail on it. If you do notice any dust or dog hair, I'm so sorry, but after this, I'm definitely going to dust proof this thing. I've had it here just for a couple days while I've been editing, but like I said before, look at how many pieces are on this engine. Like when I first got it, I was like, what the hell am I looking at? It literally looks like a jet engine, and I just loved how they developed this vehicle in the movie, and the fact that Jazzinc were able to recreate that in 6-scale form is just a blessing in disguise because I need this with my Batman figure, and I'm just so glad I got it. And as I zoom in, you can clearly see that the paintwork is very impressive. I don't see anything that's very like shocking or anything bad. I know there's been people in the past who are like, oh my god, Jazzinc's terrible, their paintwork sucks, you're paying $1,800 for this crap paintwork. Like, for me, look at it right here. For me, there's no issues in my eyes. Maybe it's because it's a fairly simple design, like I said, being silver and black paint. I just think it looks absolutely impressive. I think Jazzinc has heard the complaints and absolutely stepped up because, like I said, you can see it right here. It just looks great. Okay, Riley, shut up now. Let's get to what you all been waiting for, powering this bad boy up. Check it out. Now, if that doesn't deserve a like and subscribe, then I don't know what does, because damn, as soon as I got this in hand and I haven't had it all lit up yet, and I didn't have that feature on, I was like, oh shit, I just paid $1,800 for this. The realization was kind of hitting me, but once I had this feature set up, I am not kidding you, everything changed, and I'm so happy with it. You can kind of see here me using the remote, and you can just easily turn it off and on. You can put the sound effect on or off at any time. Like, how cool is that? Definitely the best feature I've ever seen in my collecting journey, because it just takes me back to the Dolby Theater where I sat in that seat and my entire theater roared with that damn engine. Y'all know, if you saw this in a very good theater, your seat was shaking and your head was spinning, and it was absolutely amazing. And I'm so glad that I'm just able to have that in my collecting room to just recreate that moment. It's really great. But yeah, like, that was one of the biggest sellers in my eyes. But right here, I also wanted to showcase the actual weight of this vehicle. This could be a pro or a con, but I did notice, and I was shocked, that it isn't that heavy. It's really not a heavy vehicle. I feel like I was sort of expecting this to just be a massive beast because of the actual size of it, but in reality, it's really easy to move. Like, right here, you can see me lift it up and down. And let me know, is that a pro or a con to you? For me, honestly, I'm going to put it in the pro column, because I feel like having something so heavy would actually be scary, because you don't want it to, like, kind of sag or hunch over like the original Batmobiles had issues with. But to me, I think it's great. Let me know in the comments, though. That might be a controversial one. Do you want it to have that heft because it's an expensive price? Or do you want that great accessibility where you can move it around wherever you want? And I do know this vehicle is 30.8 pounds, if you guys did want to know that. So yeah, it's really not that heavy. And right here, I'm just kind of showing how simple it is to turn on the lights. Right there, turning on the back and front lights with the number 4. All of it's just on this remote. They have instructions to show you which button does what. And as you can see, the inside's lit up. The sides right there, the hood is lit up, and it just looks really awesome. I'm happy about that. And I can turn it off there, simple as that. It's just really nice. I'm really happy with this feature. And I also didn't film the actual wire in the back, which is fairly simple. You just plug it into an adapter and just plug it into an outlet in your wall. One con I'd say is I wish the adapter was longer. I feel like since this was my top shelf module space, it was a little tricky. I had to get an extension cord on top of the actual adapter and plug-in it came with. So it's a little just nitpick. That's not really a big issue. It's just a little con. But you can see it actually worked kind of perfectly with the module space. I'm able to hide it behind that back wall and just have it really well hidden. Obviously, when it's out like this to show the back engine, you see it more, but that's also a huge plus. Just being able to plug this in and turn it on or off with the remote, as simple as that, was really nice. And next to my next con, this is the only thing that I really had a big issue with. Well, not really like a big issue, but is the window itself. I feel like I don't know if there was a way to get past this, but it looks a little cheapy to me. Just a little bit. It's not really something where it's a deal breaker, but I just feel like everything else looks so, like, realistic and, like, realism just strived there. But the window, it kind of gives that toyish feeling. But it's not really, like, an end deal breaker, because what are they going to use? Real glass, and it'd probably be way more expensive. It is what it is at the end of the day, but it's just something that I'd say is just a con on the actual look of the vehicle. And I also want to preface, I paid $1,821 exactly with shipping included, and this is a limited edition piece with only 500 being made of the clean and 500 of the weathered. Now let's get to our closing thoughts and find out if this was worth the price. All right, we have officially concluded the video, and just some closing thoughts on this actual vehicle and the company itself. Jazzinc, pat yourselves on the back. This is an absolutely sensational piece. I'm so happy I picked this up. Again, it is a hefty price tag, but with the limited edition factor, with the amazing and fun features, and just the overall presence of this thing and size of it, it is, in my eyes, if you are a Batman fan and the Batman 2022 fan, you will be happy with this 100%. This is for those diehard fans like me who cannot wait to get this damn Batman figure, because it's been so long for a Batman figure to get on the shelf. We're waiting for the in-art. Should be coming out this or next month. Fingers crossed, but we'll see. Thank you all for watching. Really do hope you enjoyed the video and the showcase. This was a very special video to me, obviously being a huge The Batman fan. Robert Pattinson, I think he killed it. Clearly, I think he killed it, because I picked up this baby right here, and I am not disappointed at all. Again, giving my pros and cons, most were pros. I didn't really have any issues with this thing. The only thing would maybe be being the cord, the actual cable, maybe not being as long. I wish it was longer, because I had to actually get an extension cord to make sure this fit in to get to the back to where I can hit my outlet, but that's more like a nitpick. That's not really an issue. And then again, the window on the front frame just being, I don't know, I wish it was more like, maybe more premium looking. I feel like that kind of throws off that whole realism vibe, but I don't think there's any really like way you can go with a solution for that, unless they did something, yeah, like a premium actual glass, which would be kind of crazy, but probably shoot up the price a ton. So I'm fine with how it looks. It's just more of a, again, it is what it is sort of thing. But other than that, there's literally nothing else I can complain for. This is an absolutely just beautiful piece and should be for that high price hike, and I really do think that they delivered here. Also want to give a quick shout out to Joost over there at Jazzinc Dioramas. He is obviously the creator of the actual company. Thank you so much. He's just such an amazing guy. He messaged me before when he shipped it saying he was excited for the review. So hopefully he's watching out there, and just it is just so surreal to me that I have him watching one of the videos of the car that he actually developed and created. It's pretty heartwarming, so I'm very happy about that. So shout out to Joost and the team out there at Jazzinc for creating just such an epic and badass piece. Just the best word to describe this movie, and I needed it, and I got it from this company, so thank you. I can finally complete that Vengeance look with no Batman yet. He's coming. He's coming. I've been patient enough. I can wait now. I can still wait. He will be here, and it will be glorious. Trust me. Like I said, one of my probably prized possessions in my entire collection. You guys have seen it, and stay tuned for an updated collection tour coming soon because we have some amazing pieces coming. But this one is just a shelf stealer. Clearly, it's a shelf stealer. It took up my whole shelf. But again, thank y'all for watching. Hope you guys stay safe out there and just are enjoying your new 2024. Hopefully, it started off great. I know I've been having such a fun time on YouTube. You guys have been killing it. We're almost at that 4,000 sub already, and we just hit 3K. So thank y'all for the support, and we'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.